YouTube, peace and blessings to you. It's Brother Dennis, and as always, I like to give God all the glory, all of it. Today's Sunday. Oh man, just wanted to give y'all an update. Last week, as y'all know, we flew in the Young Bird Cup. And we didn't have great results, but overall, I thought we did better this year than we did last year. And, well, let me start off by saying this. I did, let me see. Got this bird back 2 days ago. This is an Adrian P bird. Adrian P bloodline. Off the pair I got, Adrian P gifted me a pair. So shout out to Adrian P. And I really like these birds. I think this bird's a hen maybe. This bird is 274. This is the bird that likes to scratch my eyes out. Real feisty bird. I call this bird McNasty. But I raced this bird in the Carolina Cup, and it was doing well at the beginning of the season, and then like I said, being a novice, not knowing and understanding how to pull flights and everything, held this bird back because I had to bench it because it was missing 9th and 10th flights. So I tried to race it in the North Carolina Cup. And I honestly believe, not knowing a whole lot because I'm green, and I never represented myself as anything other than what I am. I honestly think my birds got pulled west because the thing about the North Carolina Cup, which I'm not gonna say it's unfair, but puts you at a disadvantage, is some of the guys, they were putting in 30 or 40 birds, and most of the people lived in the West. So I honestly believe that my birds got pulled west. I honestly believe that most of my birds got pulled west. I think the other two birds, I don't think this guy, because this guy was rusty, because I didn't race this guy the last two races, then I put him in the North Carolina Cup, and all my tosses were like from 47 miles. Remember, this race was 360. So I just think this bird got pulled west. And the resilience of this bird to make it home after like 6 days being gone, is crazy. Because another thing which I guess you don't factor in is, like with me and Joe, we were talking about, with us living so far away from the club, like let's say our basking is at 5 o'clock, but I basket my birds like at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I drive over to Joe's house, then me and him drive down to the club. He's basking his birds around the same time, 1 o'clock maybe, because Joe lives 30 minutes from me. So I'm driving over to Joe's house, then we're driving to the club, and our birds have been in the basket since like noon. That means we're feeding our birds earlier, and this and that. And every little bit adds up. It really does. In that race, we basketed at 12 o'clock. So I had let my birds were in the basket from like 8 o'clock. I had to feed them early in the morning, and then I basket my birds up. So then they stayed, in the basket till the next morning. So they were like in the basket for like 24 hours. So, and I guess other guys had the same thing. But I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm just talking. So I don't know. But, I think we could have did better. Now, for instance, this little bird here, it's off of Joe's pair. I think this is actually a really small cock. I seen him cooing and stuff the other day. I don't know, I'm not sure. But this bird made it home the next day. So I don't think this bird got pulled as far. He figured it out. And I didn't race this bird at the beginning of the season, but I raced it at the end. I think this bird kind of figured it out. I think this bird figured it out. And, so these birds will be on my old bird team. I didn't race old birds last year. Let me show you one more bird. So this bird made it home. I didn't race him at all. This is the only race I put him in was the North Carolina Cup, and he made it home. 360 miles. It feels good. I think he's a cock. This bird is off of this bird is actually a Sharkey Ornette bred bird. This bird has got heavy Hoosier bloodlines from the father. The father I got is from Curtis from Air Champ Loss. I got the father. The mother was a hen I used last year. That was a gift from me from Bill in the Gold Leaf Club. Because I really didn't have a mate for him. But since then, like for, you know, as far as 2025 go, I have a mate for him. I have a Ganis bred bird that was gifted to me by Brandon. So shout out to Brandon. So the cock, this bird's father, is going to cover that bird. And that's going to be a dynamite breeding. I believe I'm going to get some good birds out of that. One Loft racers and club racers. That's my goal, is to have both. So, yeah, so that bird will be on my old bird team. I did race this bird after the second race. This bird's got lost, went to Larry's house. This is 5460, then was dropping the flights. And you can see it's still, so I didn't race it. You see it still got on the 9th to 10th flight, looks like. I didn't race this bird. This bird's off my Tachyon pair. One of my Tachyon pairs. It's a Tommy Tachyon bred bird. It did good the first race or two. Really good in training. Then it got lost. Went in the wrong coop. And then kind of fell off. So I decided to bench it. And what hurts me to look at this bird is this bird reminds me of Broken Leg. And when I say that, y'all know I chose to race Broken Leg in the Young Bird Cup. She didn't make it home. A lady called me and said that she had found Broken Leg in South Carolina. I think like Hardy, hard something. It's a town right on 95 in South Carolina, like 75 miles from the release point. She found Broken Leg with like mortally wounded. Looked like she was either shot, somebody shot her, or hit her like a hawk hit her. And I was trying to recover the bird. I sent the lady some boxes. I ordered some boxes from Seagulls and sent to her house. But Broken Leg didn't make it. She died this morning. Today's Sunday. So she died today from her injuries. And that's a loss. On my last video, I made like a video, like a kind of like a, hey, I'm going to improve on some things, and then I received some criticism on that video, criticism about how I'm not growing or how I'm making the same mistakes over and over and over or whatever, and spinning my wheel, whatever. You can go back and look at the comment. I'm not going to dwell too much on it, but it got me to thinking, and it got me to reflect, and I don't agree. I come along. Last year, I tried to race. First of all, let me say this. Pigeon racing is not easy. And for some of us, life isn't easy. Some of us have a harder time physically, emotionally, and financially. Some of us have a hard time at life. And pigeon racing is not easy. So last year, I thought I could watch some YouTube videos, build a loft, and race pigeons and be competitive. And I was sat with no help. And I was sadly mistaken. But at the end of the year, the last race, Cal, who's the president of the combine, came to me and said, you know, you raced one bird all year, which I did. And you showed a lot of determination. you know, I hope you stay with it, because I don't know if I'll stay with it or not. And then Tommy came to me, Tachyon Loft, and was like, you know, sorry I couldn't have been of more help, but, you know, we get a lot of new guys, and a lot of the new guys flame out. So, you know, but I see that you're not flaming out, so I brung you some birds to breed out of. So, people, and he gave me some game. Like, he told me, like, people give you trashy birds. Like, that's what they do. They give you trashy birds. They get you to spin your wheels. You know, I think that's what the dude said. You're spinning your wheels. Yeah, I was spinning my wheels because of the lack of support and the lack of help that a lot of people in the pigeon game, not all, and I shouldn't say a lot, that some people in the pigeon game do, because they don't want the competition. Some of these guys have been racing birds 30 and 40 years. It's not a good look if somebody brand new comes in and starts lumping them up, right? And there's a lot of politics in the pigeon game. And for me, I don't know if it's because I got hit on my head and I got brain damage, but I speak my mind. No matter, I speak my mind. And it's like, you know, and I just see that a lot of people say one thing and do another. Let's say that. They offer a lot of things. And it didn't help last year that Wayne, the guy who was going to mentor me, got ill. So that happened. And then I didn't have any guidance at all until the end of the year as far as how to train birds. I was just watching YouTube videos like Matus Loft, Adrian P videos, Rocky Ridge. Like, I watched a lot of these videos, but a lot of them aren't like how to race pigeons videos. They're just documenting what they're doing. They're not, you know, and then a lot of the other stuff that goes on overseas in Belgium and all that stuff doesn't pertain to us. It's like, it's weird, but there's not a lot of how to race pigeon videos. I watched a lot of videos and I was trying to gain knowledge the best I could with what, and do with the best I had. So, from the outside looking in, it might look like one thing or another, but I always try to be a man of action. So I tried to build a loft on my own. I tried to get some pigeons on my own. Adrian P sent me a pair, and then I went out and bought a couple pairs, and I bought some birds from Silvio and Vern Clausen. I bought some young birds, and I thought I was doing the right thing by buying some young bird kits and trying to race birds, but I had no idea what I was doing. I was just feeding my birds to the hawks. It wasn't even a fact of me lack of training them. It was a fact of me just opening up my loft and letting my birds out all day. And like, man, 3 are missing today. 2 is missing today. I wonder what's going on. The hawks was eating my birds. My neighbor told me one day, he was like, bro, there's this eagle or hawk or whatever it is, I don't know, but sitting right on top of your house, like waiting. And that was the day I didn't open my cage up. So the hawk was coming by like, hey, where's my meal at? The kitchen ain't open today? And that's when I realized, man, I've been feeding my birds to the hawks. It wasn't my settling technique. It wasn't what I was doing. It was my lack of knowledge, not having a mentor. So I'll say that to say this. I said all that to say this. Life is not easy, and neither is pigeon racing. If you're new to pigeon racing like I am, you have to get a mentor. Maybe even watch somebody for a year. Make sure it's for you. Because once you build a loft and invest and all that, it's kind of too late to turn back. I mean, it's never too late to turn back, but it's kind of like pigeonholes you in. So at the end of last year, I had to make a decision because I knew that loft that I built was way too small to do breeding and racing and everything out of. So I had to build another loft. So I tried to build this loft, but it only got half done. It's only half done now because I'm just physically not capable of doing certain things. And I don't have the knowledge, physical knowledge. I'm not a carpenter. And I made some fatal flaws, but some of them can be fixed. I got somebody coming to help me. That's another thing. A lot of people say they're going to do this and do that and then don't do it. You know, even I'm willing to pay people to help me, you know, out of my limited resources. But yet here I am, right? But you can't say that I'm spinning my wheels. You can't say that I'm not going to be, well, you can say anything you want. It's a free world, but I don't believe that, because how else would I finish top 20% in three or four of the races? I had birds in the top 20%. I finished third in the combine. I had birds in the top 10%, you know, so miss me with all that. Like, I know that I'm far from where I want to be at, but I'm upgrading my breeders again this year. So our breeders are being upgraded. I has a lot of grimy stuff that I'm learning about the pigeon game. There's a lot of people that don't want to see you succeed, but I have to say that to say this. Life is hard and pigeon racing is hard. But when you're a man of faith like me, the Bible or God promises me that no weapon formed against me shall prosper as long as I stay faithful. And I'm faithful. So you can line up, you can criticize me all you want. That's fine. You can call it whatever you want to call it, sugarcoat it any way you want to call it. But to say that you see no growth is a flat out false narrative. I'm not even gonna say it's a lie. It's just you're seeing what you want to see. You're seeing what you want to see. And obviously, I'm not trying to ruffle any feathers or anything like that, but I am going to speak my mind. And the same way you can leave a comment, it's the same way I can respond to it. You know, I know being on a YouTube channel, having a YouTube channel, you're going to open yourself up for criticism, but that, hey, you know, I'm grown, I can take it, and I can respond to it. And if you feel you don't see no growth, then I guess just stick around and watch me crash and burn then. I guess that's what you're hanging out for. I mean, it's obvious that I'm not a good pigeon flyer. You know, in your eyes, it's obvious that I don't know what I'm doing. So then that makes it obvious to me that you're sticking around to watch me flame out. That some of you are watching my channel. You're probably not even subscribed, right? So what you're doing is you're not subscribed to my channel. So you're not even supporting me while you watch me flame and burn, right? So you're going to watch me flame and burn so you can say, I told you so. Or you could feel like that makes you a bigger man. Well, good luck to you. You know, God bless you, because I might flame and burn, but it won't be because of your comment. It might be because of my mental health. It might be because I'm physically unable to do it physically, because pigeon work there's a lot in the taking care of pigeons. You know, especially when you got other things going on. You know, pigeons is not the only thing I have going on. And it's a lot. It's a big commitment. I see why a lot of the people that fly pigeons are retired people. I see why, or people that are self-employed, or people that have, you know, physically fit, younger people that have a lot of energy and a lot of that stuff. I'm none of that. Like, I'm disabled. I'm mentally challenged. I'm financially challenged, you know, but somehow I love these pigeons and this pigeon racing. I just do. I love it, man. You know, I never thought 2 years ago, I never even heard of pigeon racing, and now here I am in the middle of it, in one of the hotbeds of pigeon racing in North Carolina. You want to judge me because I've lost a lot of birds? Everybody's lost a lot of birds. Pigeon racing is losing birds. One guy told me that you'll be lucky to keep 5% of all your young, you know, from your 5%, because not every pigeon is created equal. Not every pigeon is a racing pigeon. Not every pigeon that you breed is gonna, even if you breed out the best breeders, it's not gonna be a good pigeon. The basket is gonna call your birds. And I've lost birds, a lot of birds. I would say half the birds are from my mistakes, and the other half was either natural selection, hawks or whatever got them, or they just was not good racing homing pigeons. Because remember, they have to be good homing pigeons first, then good racing pigeons second. So they have to find their way home first to be a racing pigeon. And some of them can't do that. They just can't, you know? So I just let you know I see your criticism. I see you, and I hear you. I don't agree with it, not 100%. Right? I know that there's things that I fall short on. We all fall short of the glory of God, right? But that's why every day's a new beginning. See? And I'm so sorry that we lost Broken Leg. Broken Leg, let me wind the video down by saying this. Broken Leg was an inspiration to me. So far to this day, Broken Leg has been the best racing pigeon that I've owned so far. And I'm happy to say that she was bred here from a pair that was gifted to me from a great flyer, Tommy from Tachyon Loft. He gifted me that pair, and she was born here. She was had a Fayetteville band. She was part of our club, part of this channel, part of my life. And she's gone. Her spirit hopefully is gone into animal heaven. God's creatures, I know God's creatures are innocent, and I know that even though it's natural selection, because of the evil of this world, that all animals have to eat, right? Because of sin. But I know that that bird, the spirit, if that bird is in a good place, that bird was an inspiration. That bird overcame adversity. It had a broken leg early in life. It was handicapped, such like myself. But it just kept fighting. It kept trying. Even when the odds, I guess, 360 miles, maybe I should have thought a little bit more about flying her in that race with her handicap, with her broken leg. Even though her leg was healed, it was still, I guess, maybe the hawk could see her wobbling when she flew, or the hawk could tell that she had a, Joe was telling me that hawks can see. They could tell the path. You got a whole bunch of birds flying, and one of them's missing a flight, a 10th or 9th flight. One of them has a broken leg, or one of them's carrying an egg, or whatever. One of them looks a little fatter, or whatever. Them hawks, that's how they eat, is not wasting time chasing healthy pigeons, but they pick out ones. It's called natural selection. If you don't know what that term means, look it up. And with her broken leg, I guess she had a target on her back, and I'm glad that, I don't know if I can say I'm glad that the hawk didn't actually eat her. I'm glad I have closure. I'm glad that I know that what happened to her. We know what happened to her. We know that we lost her, that she's gone. A wonderful lady found her. She was cared for right up until she died, and her body is going to be disposed of properly. And she's going to be treated with respect, in death as she was in life. And that's why I don't want 100 pigeons. I don't want 50 pigeons. I want just enough pigeons to make me happy, to make me a successful pigeon racer. I want just enough pigeons that I can handle physically, cleaning up after, and nurturing and caring for properly. And I don't ever want to get to a place where I think pigeons are expendable. That's the one part of pigeon races that bothers me the most, coming from the dog world, is I don't want to raise pigeons just to raise them and discard them. Y'all are getting on me about throwing away or losing a bunch of pigeons, right? But it bothers me when I lose my pigeons. Can you say the same thing? Does it bother you when you're culling your birds, or losing your birds, or you just breed more and not want to fix the issue so you don't have them to do that? So that's what I choose to do. I'm gonna upgrade my breeders to give myself the best chance at having good birds. And now listen, I understand that all birds aren't created equal. All birds aren't going to be good flying birds. They're just not. But I do understand that you give your best shot at succeeding by breeding pedigree bird. I'm not pedigree birds. What is it called? Diploma, race-winning birds, proven producing birds, proven producing families, proven bloodlines. I understand that part of it. So in my breeding loft over here, I'm got some birds that are moving in, and that means some birds are moving out. And I'm upgrading, and I have upgraded to the best that I can because of my financial limitations. I don't have, $1,500. I was trying to get I'll be honest with you, I was trying to get a bird from Robbie. I think his last name is Whaley, but it's Dewdrop in Loft. He won the Black and Gold race last year. He won the Clovis Classic last year. He also won the North Carolina Cup this year. I was trying to get a squeaker from him in March, and I couldn't afford it because, unfortunately, his birds are in demand right now because he's winning. I would love to add a bird from him, but does that mean that my Tachyon birds or my Lily Loft birds or my Adrian P birds can't compete with those birds? No, it don't mean that. Some of the other birds that some guys gave me, now that I understand that, the motivation behind people, that they'll give you stuff that they want to move on from. And I understand that. And they were good. They serve their purpose. I got good starter birds out of it. But guess what? I'm moving on from them too. So I got some people that I trust that gifted me and some birds. I got a pair of birds over there from James. I got my Adrian P birds. I got some good birds. Joe Tachyon. I got Wayne Hale, Tom Barnhart. I got some birds from Tom Barnhart for a good price. Great flyer, been a real good flyer. So we're coming. You know, we got some good birds. I know we do. And I got a mentor now. That's my biggest thing. I got somebody guiding me. And now I just have to find the courage to push myself through the mental part of it, the PTSD part of it. Some days I just don't feel motivated. And, you know, some of my critics will say, oh, you're just lazy. But trust me, anybody who deals with mental health knows what I'm talking about. There's some days that you're just not having good days. And pigeons motivate me. You know, having animals motivate you because they have to eat. They're like children. You have to take care of them no matter what, no matter how you're feeling. But I got a good mentor, Joe. I just want to say thank you, Joe, for all the help you've given me, all the motivation and inspiration, I should say, that you've given me. And all just helping everybody that you help. People don't know this, but you know, in the spring, Fayetteville split, and the experienced flyers and some of the other flyers, they started a Cameron Club because of the, I don't want to say politics, but I guess the geography of it, everything. They started their own little club in their own little area, which I understand why now. I wish me and Joe and maybe Gabe and a couple other people that live in this area could start our own club in this area, because I could see how the mileage is an advantage or disadvantage. I see that. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen right now. So Fayetteville's where I'm racing out of, and I'm 70 miles out of that club. So I just got to deal with that. And, you know, when the club split last year, beginning of this year, actually, I didn't even think I was hurt. I made videos behind it. I didn't even think I wanted to race anymore because I was new to racing, and I felt like the club was splitting. I'm gonna be honest with you. I felt like the club was splitting because some of the members didn't want to deal with the new guys. Oh, because there was a lot of new guys, a lot. There's like 5 or 6 guys, but none of them stuck around. Just me and Brandon, I think, and Ruben. But Ruben is not a new guy. He's just new to Fayetteville, but he's very experienced and he's a champion flyer. But I felt like the club split because some of the older members that were set in their ways did not want to deal with the new guys. There was a lot of 2 and 3 year new guys and brand new guys like myself. And they didn't want to deal with all the mess that went with it. They wanted to keep their club nice and small. And Eric, the president of the club, didn't feel that way. He wanted the club to be big like it used to be. He wanted it to be, you know, one of the best, most competitive clubs in Fayetteville. And I think we proved that we still can be competitive this year. If you look at the combine results, we're still competitive. We can be competitive even though we're a bunch of new guys. Why is that? Because of somebody like Joe. So thank you to Joe for, he actually is still a member of the Raleigh-Durham club that he flew out of last year. He's vice president actually, but he actually joined the Fayetteville club and actually flew out of the Fayetteville club this year, still being a member of that club and vice president. He's also vice president of our club, Fayetteville club, because he wanted to mentor. His mentorship is needed in Fayetteville more than it was in RDU, because RDU have experienced flyers that can mentor like Barrera and Cal. And now look, if I don't know, I don't feel, but Barrera is leaving and actually starting another club west to help other guys out there that need mentorship and help and all that. So the pigeon game is declining and growing at the same time. So, and these guys, they're moving on. I know some people don't like the fact, you know, I know it didn't sit well with people that Joe is flying out of Fayetteville because he gave some strength to that club, but he's still a member there, and you know, and we're all in the same combine still. And if it would make other people happier, if this year I'll fly out of RDU, if that makes people happier, you know? So I don't know, man. It's a lot of politics and feelings, and it's a lot of that. I see why people quit club racing. I was just watching a Facebook post where he quit club racing, sold on most of his loft, and he's just doing one loft racing because of club politics. And I hope that never happens to me. I like the camaraderie of club racing and all that, but I can see how one loft racing is a lot easier, and it might be one loft racing might be beneficial for somebody like me. Somebody who is disabled, mentally has mental health issues, and somebody who maybe can't train their birds every day or every other day. Somebody who has a hard time cleaning up after 100 young birds or 50 young birds or 40 young birds, but I could keep 20 pairs of breeders or 10 pairs, 15 pairs of breeders, clean up after them, breed 1 or 2 rounds out of them, ship them to young birds, ship them to one loft races, and just chill, and watch the results. And that's an idea. But the one thing that details is money. You got to have money for them interest fees. You got to have money to send them birds to the one. It takes money to make money. I don't have that money, but that's not saying I can't get it or I can't get help with it. But I know this was a hell of a rant video. We lost Broken Leg. Rest in peace to her. God bless everybody, man. Take this video for what it's worth. It's just a video. And we're gonna be turning the lights on this week. I got somebody helping me with my lofts this week. So I'll make a video about that, how we're improving the lofts, getting the lofts improved for winterizing and getting them ready. We'll look at some of the old birds. I guess we'll look at some of the breeders that we got. I got a pair of breeders coming that I'm very excited about. I'll share them with y'all, share some of my other breeders, the secret weapons I got. And yeah, we're gonna get after it, man. We're gonna get after it, So subscribe to the channel, stick around, like the videos, leave a comment. Whether it's good or bad, I see them all. If it's derogatory or negative, I'm just gonna block you. Like personally negative, I don't want nothing to do with you. I'm a God-fearing person. I don't want any hate or anything like that on my channel. Constructive criticism, I can take that all day. So I'm not talking to you if that's the case. So I won't promote hate. Love over everything. Faith over fear. God bless everybody. I'm praying for everybody that watches my videos, and it doesn't. I pray for everybody anyway. Just remember, every day is a new beginning. You hear I got a couple squeakers over there. Still squeaking. Every day is a new beginning. And just remember, if nobody else loves you, God loves you.